Welcome back to the Jugosphere, people. Presently, it is December 2019, although you will probably see this in January 2020 or after, because it's a Christmas present build. Now, last year, almost every single present I gave away was built. This year is the complete opposite. I'm only building one thing, and this is for my dad. And it's because I really don't know what to get him, but he is a huge Star Trek fan. So, he likes Star Trek, and he has a cell phone. Let's get in a Star Trek cell phone stand, guys. So I found this Star Trek logo on the internet. I photoshopped it for my needs, and I printed it out 2 different sizes because I wasn't sure which size would work. And this is an iPhone 10, and you can see it definitely could work with this, but I think that actually the bigger one is kind of the way to go. And I think that the size of it actually means that these could be the feet, although it might be a little top heavy, especially with the phone, so I might have to attach this to a base. But my plan is to make the background out of walnut and to make the sort of ship out of this curly maple. I believe both of these came from Joel Crawford when I was at the Tony Rouleau Slip Inside party. And then the only other thing I need is a piece of brass rod, which is going to be the thing that holds the phone. There we go. Now for the back of this thing, the third leg on the tripod, so to speak, I've got two choices. And both of them were cutoffs from the original sort of starship part of this thing. So these are the maple cutoffs that made the starship shape. So my choices are to either use this thing right here, or to use this and be a little more fancy. Maybe do something like that. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. Okay, so this wedge looks like a safe option as far as, you know, making something that's stable, but it doesn't necessarily look like the right option. I think if I was to use this, but sort of cut it out on the curve, it might be more in line with this. I don't know. Maybe what I should do is just use this, but cut the middle out so that it looks a little bit thinner. I think maybe that's the choice. Yeah, let's do that. All right, that looks pretty good, but we need to test it out. Yep, that definitely holds the phone, but it's eventually going to have some brass holders there so the phone is off the ground. But it's at the right angle, which is the key. Now we just need to figure out how to inset this and then cut the hole to make it look fancy. Alright, so the mortiser did a pretty good job of making us a channel, and now I just need to clean up and make it a little bit more accurate. I didn't want to go right up to the line in case there was any problems. So I think it's time to get the power chisel back out and just firm these up. Alright, so I got this seated in as good as I think it's going to, and I also marked out where it goes in. So now I know that that is what's going to be submerged. So there's my triangle, and I'm going to also mark out where to cut off this little bit here so that it's more streamlined. And we're going to cut out the middle to make it look pretty. In case you haven't figured it out yet, this video has nothing to do with making a cell phone stand and everything to do with me using every single tool in my shop. That's my goal. I don't think that I've used the vacuum yet. Oh wait, no I have, yes. I gotta use that too. And well, I'm not using the nail gun, but I don't really need to. Or do I? Now I have to go get the scroll saw to cut out that little triangle beat, and it's in the dungeon. And if you don't remember, the dungeon is where I put everything that was in the shop that I needed to get out of the shop so that I could use it in the wintertime. And basically, right where I need to get this thing is, well, it's easier for me to show you than it is to actually just talk about it. It only looks like a mess because it is a mess. Forget about all that stuff. Forget about that. Forget about that. Underneath, see where, right there. You see it? That's where the scroll, so I got to get to there. So I don't know if I can't. We're going to get it. I need to do an archaeological dig. All right, I've got everything set up and working. I got this clamped down so that it doesn't run all over the place. But there's something I probably should tell you guys. I haven't used a scroll saw since I was a little kid. My dad had one when I was growing up, and then after that, I maybe only used it like 2-3 times. I haven't used one in like, I don't know, 3-4 decades, something like that. So what could possibly go wrong? Okay, so unfortunately, I thought that I had the camera rolling when I glued this in, and also when I did my brand. But apparently, I hit the button and it turned off and on real quick. So just imagine you saw me glue this up. Ta-da! All right, looks like it's dried. Yeah, there you go. All right, now time for the shiny. I gotta figure out where exactly to put this. It's like right about there is the spot. Are you guys ready for the sexy? It's about to get waxy and all, yeah.
Je me faufile en filature, le long de longues files en attente. Non, je n'aime pas trop quand ça dure. Alors je passe, je fraude, je tente. Première de ma promo, je préfère. Derrière moi, ça grogne et ça gronde. La haine, moi, j'en ai rien à faire. Ils veulent juste que je leur...
All right, so it is finished. There's some stuff that you guys are not going to see when I put on the wax. It was very cold, and it didn't absorb into the wood properly. And there was a lot of things I had to do to get it to look nice. It did not look the way that I wanted to. I had to bring it into the house, warm it up, use a buffing wheel. The bottom line is, it is now ready for your viewing pleasure.
Check this.
Well, thank you for joining me for this cell phone holder Star Trek extravaganza. And I hope you had a good Christmas and a good New Year, because you'll be watching this in January or later. And if you didn't have two good things like that, make yourself a Star Trek cell phone holder. I mean, you're bound to have a good time doing that. I know I did.